Alright, let's cover lesson number 5, factoring trinomial in the form of ax squared plus bx plus c format. Okay, we're trying to make this as painless as possible. So one of the key things that I want you to remember every time you try to factor a trinomial, because there's 3 terms, is to write your polynomial in descending order. Okay, from the highest degree to the lowest degree, which is, notice I have the x in order, 2, 1, and a constant. So pretend I have something like this for you to work on. 5x squared plus 13x plus 6. Notice I do have it in order from the x squared to the x in a constant. The first thing you do is you circle, once they're in order, circle your first term and your last term and multiply them together. Okay, so basically you have 5 times 6, positive 6, to get 30. So 30 is the product of your first coefficient and your constant. And your next step now is to figure out, can you tell me, give me 2 factors of 30 that will add up to the middle term, which is 13. So there's a tricky part here. You have to find 2 numbers that will multiply to 30 but add up to 13. So if you kind of think about it, if you try to use 5 and 6 again, well, it will give you 30, but it won't add up to 13, so you know it's not working. Okay, so you got to try another combination. Or if you try to find, I don't know, let's try 10 and 3. Okay, 10 times 3, it will give you 30. 10 plus 3 will give you 13. It checked out. So you got a match there. So you know you're going to be using 10 and 3 as your factors. Okay, so it takes a bit of practice to do this, but it definitely can be done. Okay, so I'm using 10 and 3. So all you have to do is just write this whole trinomial into a different polynomial using the 2 new factors. So this is how we're going to do it. Your 5x squared is going to be right there. Your 6 is going to be right there. Your 10 now this time, I'm going to use the 2 new numbers, 10 and 3. This time, since I'm adding them, right? So it's going to be, in the middle term is the x term, so it's going to be 10x plus 3x. So technically I'm not changing my polynomial, I'm just rewriting it in a different way so that you have 4 terms. Well, I hope that you're getting my point here. We just learned how to use factoring by grouping, right, of 4 terms. So that's the whole point of making it into 4 terms. And now that I have 4 terms, I can go and set up my box. So here I have 5x squared, I have 10x, I have 3x, I have positive 6. I try to factor out my GCF horizontally if I can. In this case, it's going to be a 5x. Over here, I can take out a 3, positive 3, right? And then I try to find a length here. 5x times what is 5x squared? Just x. 5x times what is 10x? 2. Okay, positive 2. And then let's try to check off the last 2 boxes. X times 3, 3x, perfect. 2 times 3, 6, perfect. I got my factors. So all you have to do is just put them together. X plus 2 times 5x plus 3. There you have it. Done. Simple to work on. Okay, so I want you to go ahead and try number 8 on your worksheet. Let's check out the next problem here. Hopefully it's also a painless problem. It's not going to be too bad. You got 6x squared plus 22x minus 8. Now here's a trick to this too. If you see your numbers are actually factorable before you break it down, do it. Like this case, 622 negative 8. I noticed that each number has a common factor of 2. I can certainly take out that 2 to make my number smaller. It's common sense to make numbers smaller. Okay, so if I take out 2, then it's going to be 3x squared plus 11x minus 4, right? So this is the part that I just need to worry about. I can worry about the 2. I have to leave it outside. So now I can just take the 3 times it by negative 4. So 3 times it by negative 4 will give you negative 12. You see it? I take the first coefficient and the last constant to give me my product. And now my job is to figure out, can I find a pair of numbers or 2 factors that will give you a product of negative 12, add up to 11, positive 11. So as you try to figure out what will work here in this case, negative 12, can I try negative 4 and 3? Well, that will give you negative 12, but if you add them up, it will give you negative 1, not positive 11, so you know this won't work. 12, what about 6 and 2? Negative 6 and 2? Well, won't work either. Well, it'll give you negative 4. So maybe, what about 12 times negative 1? Think about that. 12 times negative 1 is negative 12, but when you add them, it will be 11. So that checked out. So the two numbers you're going to be using is 12 and negative 1. With that, I can actually rewrite my middle term. I'm actually doing this right now. If you notice, I can carry down to 2 later. But I can write it as 3x squared plus 12x, because I'm rewriting the x term in the middle, minus 1x minus 4. You see it? I have 4 terms. As soon as I have 4 terms, I can set up my 2 by 2 box. 3x squared plus 12x minus 1x minus 4. I factor out my GCF. In this case, it's just going to be 3x. Here's my first negative. I take out, the only thing that's in common is a 1, but there's a first negative, so I take out negative 1. And then I find my length. 3x times x is 3x squared. 3x times 4 is 12x. And then I checked off these first two because they work out just fine. And then x times negative 1, negative 1x. Good. 4 times negative 1, negative 4. Checked. Got it. Okay. Then I can just go and put that back as 3x minus 1 times x plus 4. And of course, don't forget 2 in front. There it is. And you are done with your problem. Okay. Go ahead and try number 36 and on your worksheet for that one. Last problem is pretty much the same thing here. I mean, I don't think it makes a difference, but I'm just trying to force you to do it. Here's 10y squared minus 35y plus 30. As you can see, this has a common divisor of 5, so take that out. Make it smaller. You don't want to take 10 times 30 to get 300. It's too big of a number. So if you reduce it, please simplify. So it's going to be 2y squared minus 7y plus 6. So instead of having to take 10 times 30, now you only have 2 times 6, which is 12. That's what you're looking for. 12. What times what will give you 12 add up to negative 7? You think hard enough. It's going to be negative 4 times negative 3, because negative 4 times negative 3 is a positive 12. Negative 4 plus negative 3 is a negative 7. You see that? So this is the two numbers I'm going to be using. I'm just going to go ahead and rewrite that as 2y squared minus 4y minus 3y plus 6. You see how I rewrite the middle term using my two new numbers, two new factors in this case? And then once I have 4 terms, I can go ahead and set up using the box method. Here's 2y squared, here's negative 4y, here's negative 3y, here's positive 6. If I take out the GCF horizontally, I can take out 2y. This one I can take out first negative, so it's going to be take out negative 3. 2y times what? Going to be 2y squared times y. 2y times what will give you negative 4y, just negative 2, right? And as you can see, the first 2 boxes got checked off because I got the right area. Let's check this one. Y times negative 3, negative 3y. Good. Negative 2 times negative 3, positive 6. Good. So there you have it. It's just going to be 2y minus 3 and y minus 2. And of course, don't forget the 5 in front. There it is. And that's how you factor your trinomial using the box method. So what I want you to do is go ahead and try number 39 for that one. Okay? See you tomorrow.